you down a little bit. This is our very first Points of View segment. This is the very first time we're doing this segment. I want to welcome everybody to the show. 347-934-0966. That is the number to dial into the show. Again, 347-934-0966. That is the number to dial to the show. This is Points of View. I want to welcome everybody that's checking us out live on Instagram. Everybody's checking us out live right here on Facebook. A lot of people checking in right now off the jump. And I want to go ahead and introduce our guest. All right, this segment is something that we're doing that's different. This is a talk show slash game show kind of thing that we got going over here at K100 Radio. And we have our featured special guest that we're bringing on live with us. We've got it's T Marie Radio. We got T Marie in the building. What's going on? T Marie, what's happening? What's going on? Tell everybody who you are real quick. Go ahead and introduce yourself. All right.
I am T Marie of It's T Marie Radio Show. We are syndicated on 5 networks, including K100. I do red carpet hosting. I have a blog, It's T Marie. I'm on 3 other blogs, and I do a lot of media stuff. So I'm a radio personality. So, talking and information and spreading information, that's what we do over here. So I'm glad to be here on K100 with you, Bled.
All right. And we also have Kelby, the editor-in-chief of Makin'It magazine in the building. Kelby, what's going on, bro? Welcome to the show, man.
Chilling out, man. Just happy to be here.
Well, first of all, I appreciate both of you guys for rocking with us over here for our very first Points of View segment. All right. First topic: the verdict of the cop getting off in the Philando Castile case. All right. The first question, and listen, they don't have to disagree. All right, my guests don't have to disagree. They just have to come up with points, and for every point that they come up with, they get a point. All right. And that's how this works. You'll see the points go up. Even if it's something that they agree on, but they have to make separate points. If T Marie makes a point, she goes first, and she makes a point, Kelby can't make the same exact point and get a point. And also, all right, we take points away for complete shenanigans, for complete lies. Anybody tells a lie, an all-out, flat-out lie, I'm taking a point away. All right, we're going to take a point away. All right, you got it?
All right.
So I don't think these guys are gonna lie, but Kelby could say some outrageous shit.
I don't know about you, Kelby.
Kelby tends to get outrageous, and he just goes left sometimes. And I'm ready for him tonight. He's gonna get buzzed. All right, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's get it. All right, so first up, like I said, the verdict in the Philando Castile case, of course, to me was real disheartening. Complete miscarriage of justice. All right, and we're gonna let T Marie go ahead and dive in on this one. Go ahead, T Marie.
But first of all, I don't know why we are still being surprised at the verdicts anymore. We keep going in with all our hopes up, hoping that they're going to, give us justice. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And the reason why it's just not going to happen because the people that you have to think about, the judges and the people that are on jury duty and all of that, they are not. The ideas that they have about us and our community is just all through media and all these different negative things. So no matter how fair it seems, no matter how it seems like that they're doing the right thing, they're just not, because the negative images that seem to keep putting us out there, they're judging us based on those images, not on who we are as a people. So when you show us in these negative lights, in these videos and all these other fight videos and all these other things on social media, that's what they're judging us based on. So when they go in, the jury goes in to make these decisions, they're not going in based on who we are as a people and the positive things they know about us. They're thinking, well, all they do is act up, all they do is carry guns, and it's gotta be a way that it was their fault. So as long as these images are out there, we're always gonna be judged on these images and these negative connotations that keep coming with us in our, through the media. But we're not judged on who we really are. We're judged on how we're perceived.
All right. So basically, her main point there is she got 2 points out of that. She's saying that we're being judged based on what the media is perceiving us to be. Yes. Now, I'll go to Kelby right now. Kelby, what do you have to say about that? Give me some points.
I don't expect justice from America. I expect America. That's America. When we go into these things, justice isn't something that's given, it's something that's taken. We got to take justice. We can't expect someone to give us justice. So that's I definitely agree with her on what she's saying. And we talked about this before. I think it's more about the black brand. The black brand is not a good brand.
Right.
Like that just is what it is. And it for the longest time it was other people saying what the black brand is, like the whole stereotype of black people liking watermelon. Like that was something that someone did in an old movie. They say, here, eat this watermelon, and people laughed and thought it was funny. It was like, oh, black people like watermelon. So that became part of the stereotype, the brand that is black, but that was something that a white person created. But now it's like black people are creating their own brand, and through like hip hop and entertainment and stuff, it's not the best brand either. It's like, I talked about this the other day, like it's not okay for white people to be in blackface, but I see black people in blackface every day. Like, look at how many, like when white people, like the little white girl who was in Florida who dressed up like Kodak Black, she's actually a fan of his, and she dressed up like him because she likes him, not to insult him or anything. It was outrage. Right. But then you still have black people who came from a good part of town, who grew up a certain way, but I'm gonna dress like a thug and I'm gonna act a certain way because that's the caricature of what a black person's supposed to be like. How is that any different?
Well, it's not any different, and I would say I definitely agree with your points about the black brand. You got 3 points out of your first spiel. I would definitely agree that we've created this for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Some of it through fun, some of it through entertainment, and it wasn't meant to be used against us in a court of law. Now, here's where I would separate that particular point, Kelby. Whereas a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, you said somebody picked up told this guy to pick a piece of watermelon up in a movie, but that was a movie. This is real life. This is somebody dying and getting shot in the streets. So you know the inability for America and the justice system to separate what they see on entertainment and hearing music and blanket apply it to all black people, to me, is inherently a problem. But let me go to the next part of this question. All right, T. Marie, for some more points, let me ask you: the jury found him not guilty? Here's the thing. Like with this particular case, this is not the police technically getting away with murder because he was immediately charged, right? He was indicted ASAP. They basically hung him out to dry. Now, he's not a white officer. One could bring up the fact that he ain't even a white officer, so they was really quick, like, chunk his ass to deuces. But the point is, he was tried. The jury let him off. So here's the second question. Do you feel like, is there any way that you can see the jury maybe was convinced by the prosecution, or like it was the jury, he got off on his peers? Should we respect that? Should we honor the fact that he was found not guilty by a jury because he was tried? Go ahead, T. Marie.
Right. So what I'm gonna say about that is this: I don't know what the jury pool was made up of. I really don't know how many blacks, how many whites, how many others is on there. So that's one thing. But this is what I will do. What happens is the jury starts to base their ideas based on their personal experience with us individually. So if they have had any kind of run-in with us as a black young man with their pants hanging down, getting cussed out, hanging out, being disrespectful, showing no respect, being rude, feeling threatened, they're gonna take that idea of the person into the courtroom and blanket it. So when they go to the courts and they start thinking about if this guy was right or wrong, they start thinking about how they felt when they encountered one of us. Even sometimes I feel threatened, and I hate to say that, when I encounter some of our young men. Now, I have the ability to separate the two, but a lot of times people who don't encounter them more often don't. So they take that blanketed idea, they go into the courtroom, and no matter what, they want to truly believe that the police was doing, justice. And no matter what it looks like or put in front of them, exactly in front of them, all they're going by is how was my encounter with a black person or a black man or a black situation. And they take that into the jury room and they make their decision.
All right.
They do that often.
Okay. All right, Kelby, your turn. Kelby, go ahead.
I agree with what she's saying, but I think it's also another side of it is not just putting negative emotions or connotations on them being black. It's a lack of empathy. It's like when the person don't look like you, like we all want to see our team win. Like
Right.
I'm not from Atlanta, but you know when the Falcons is doing good, like yeah, I want to see them win. Like that's just it's like we find our affinity. Like when you come into any situation, you kind of align yourself. You see who you're rooting for, and
Right.
in the fight, like that's just human nature, because you can see yourself in that position.
Right.
And so I think more people on the jury will see themselves in the police officer's position or in the fair-skinned person's position, like because there's that disconnect, that dissonance. Like, for like black people are more empathetic toward white people. Like whenever any of this stuff happens, we rally, we march, and we do all this stuff. And it's always somebody related that turn the other cheek, and we be like, how? But it's like that's us by nature. We deal with enough of white people in our day-to-day lives and other races. Like a black person can't live their life in America and not have a white teacher, a white police officer, white someone that they encounter, and it humanizes them. Like, so it's not just a negative us against them versus thing. Like they're people. Like, but white people don't have that same experience. Like 1 out of 12 white people has a non-white friend.
Right.
And that's a actual fact. You can go research. So it's 11 people living their lives that really don't encounter black people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they encounter them, it's through music, it's through TV, it's through being at the airport, at TSA or somewhere, and someone yelling at them, or they feel like this certain kind of way. And
Right.
so they don't have a large enough sample size to actually have a accurate average. So it's not like they deal with enough black people for them to actually be human. We're just black people. And I think that's where the big disconnect when it comes to the jury. It's hard for them to see themselves or their brother is Philando Castile, or to see their son is Trayvon Martin. That's why it was so poignant when Obama said that could have been my son, because that's the first time anyone in a power position that had to deal with the fact that this could have been my son. This could have been my brother. This could have been my mother. And I think that's the disconnect. The people on the jury don't have that level of empathy because they don't deal with enough black people. Most of the people that are on the jury, it's not only 1 out of those 12 people could say that could have been my friend.
Right.
Because the other don't have any, and it's a crazy statistic because 12 people on the jury, only 1 out of 12 has a non-black friend.
Right.
I mean a non-white friend. So
all right. Well, I would say, and I'm gonna look, and you guys are tallying up points. Let me see. Sharice Hicks, make sure you type in Team Marie on this one. I'm with Team Marie, or tell me who you're rocking with when you actually give me a comment, because they get points for that. So they get points for the comments. Also over here on on Instagram Live, people are talking as well. You feel me? Let me see. Has a Bravo says it's not blacks, it's someone that dresses in a gang that won't cooperate with the police. That doesn't mean they're a black person. They don't have to necessarily be black, but maybe so. Here's the thing, and Sharice Hicks says the jury is just as guilty in this crime. There's nothing that shows that it was a just killing. You know, every time a cop is scared, they can't shoot to kill. So she says she's afraid of the police. You know, so can she shoot one of them? No, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, you
You
cannot.
can't. You know what I'm saying? Alvina says Team Kelby. I agree with Kelby. They can't empathize. So, you know, she said she's with Team Kelby right there. I'll give them a point for that. If you're with Team Kelby or Team Marie, please type that in inside the Facebook Live feed, also on Instagram Live. All right, so make sure you type that. I need to see actually that. Sharice Hicks also says Team Kelby. She's agreeing with his comments. All right, so and the last part of this question is, you know, I guess if you're looking at it and you're going to say, we're back to Team Marie, and you're going to say, okay, we're respecting the process. He's not guilty or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at this particular point right now, why should we as black people really just have a level of respect for the law? Because obviously it's really hard right now to convince a young person right now to respect the law. So how do you combat that? How do you tell someone that's growing up in this America, respect the process, how do you convince them to do that when everything that they're seeing indicates that it doesn't matter what? At the end of the day, they still could be, shot down by a cop, even if they do have a permit to even have the gun. You can still get killed. What do you think, T-Bone?
Right. The first thing for me, I always go with it, I have to make my kids and anybody understand that we got to go in first thinking that it's not fair. Unfortunately, we can't go in thinking that the law is going to be on our side all the time and it's not fair. If you start going in understanding that it's not fair from the beginning, you have to go in understanding that there's a game plan you have to go with. It's just like knowing that, you have somebody bigger that you're about to go up against and you're smaller. You have to go in with a game plan. You have to go in knowing. So you have to start talking about what can you do? Because it's not going to be like it's going to be fair, but you got to start talking survival at this point and what can you do to survive? And unfortunately, you got to start telling our kids and people, you do have to be, speak Lord, change your tone. You do have to address them differently. You do have to do certain things in order to survive. In this America right now, we can't be thinking that justice is for us. We got to start working in survival mode and doing things that's going to help us to survive. So now you start talking about the ways to approach, the things you have to do differently, the ways you have to say, and it's bad, but it's true. And people do not give our voice enough. We be thinking that voting and stuff doesn't make a difference. True. We think that putting people in office doesn't make a difference. What we got to understand is when we vote, we need to start grooming and putting people in that we know have more of our ideas and our best interests at heart. Because the chief of police, these judges, these DAs, they are voted in. And we don't even know that. So these are the people that help make the decisions and make, when it's time to prosecute people and it's time to hire the police officers. These are the people that do these things. So we have to start understanding that voting goes beyond, this 4-year election, 2-year election, but it also goes into your community, your commissioners, and those other type of people. And we have to start putting people who believe in our ideas and who actually want to look out for us in office. So I can't start saying that, we're finna start living fair. I can't say that. I really can't say that we have to have best interest in our justice system. All I can say is that we have to put a game plan in order so we can survive.
All right, your turn, Kelby. Go ahead. What you think?
America is racist.
I can't hear you.
America is racist and it's not fair. But there's no place I'd rather live. Like, there's no other place that I could do the things that I'm able to do here. Right. So it's just like an understanding of that part of that, and I think too often people feel like we it gotta be just even, and it's something I talk to my son about. It's like things ain't gonna be even. Things are never gonna be even, like, cause everybody ain't the same. And as long as there are differences, people will pick at differences. People gonna play favorites. Like, that's just life. And all you can do is deal with life. Right. And so, like, it's sad that we have to have those type of conversations with our kids, but those are the type of conversations that we have to have with our kids. Like, I've never had any real problems with the police, but I've been fortunate enough to, when the little issues that I did have with the police, I knew how to deal with the police, so I never had an issue with the police. And so it's just always it was just certain things that I learned from having people who worked on the police force, people who knew, like, yo, they can't do this, they can't do that. And when they know that you know the rules of engagement, a lot of the times it's just like when someone knows that you don't know what you're talking about and you don't know shit, they're going to try to get shit over on you. And it's just that it's a power trip for a lot of them sometimes. Right. And so when you equip with some knowledge, and because it's not so much the Eric Gardners and the Philando Castiles and like these people who get killed. It's the people who die a little every day with having to deal with the police, who get pulled over and get killed, but get harassed or who get beat down. It's like the movie Crash, like that suffer these indignities we don't have hashtags for them. But it's people dying every day who feel uncomfortable because of where they live, because they got to drive past here and they know that they out there, it's a speed trap. They know that this bullshit is going on. And I think like sometimes we get so caught up in that we fail to realize that it's the killings aren't the problem. It's that it's a symptom. It's a symptom of a much larger problem. And part of like getting back to on the last point, I would say is if you got 12 police officers and they all white, only one of them has a friend that's a person of color. Like those are the averages. So I think a lot of it stems from we need some PR for Black people. Like we gotta go out into other communities. We gotta talk to people a little bit more. We gotta put a face on us. Like, and that's what I like when I go out.
Oh, that's the end of the round. That's the end of that one. All right, that's the end of that one. That's the end of that particular round right there. So we got to jump on to the next subject. I got to tally up some other scores over here in Facebook Live. Said Wine says he agrees with Team Marie on this one. She gets a point right there. He's checking in. Avina also wants to give Team Marie a point. I think she's talking about with the voting aspect of it also as well. So she gets another point for that. All right. And then Vina also wants to give Team Kelby another point for what he just said. Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad.
All kind of buttons.
Yeah, I got all these new sound effects. So my bad, but yeah. So 12-9 right now for that particular first round right there. We was talking about Philando Castile case, and Jay Harris also said he wants to give T Marie a point as well for one of the points that she made. Jay Harris is checking in over there. Hope you feel better, homie. You know what I'm saying? All right, so 10-14. That's the score right now. Kelby's got a couple of points. You know what I'm saying? Remember, if you do give Team Kelby or Team Marie a point, just say Team Marie or Team Kelby or whatever, and then tell me what you agreed about, the part about voting. Just make sure you type that in over on the Facebook Live if you can. All right. Shout out to everybody that's listening to us over here on Instagram Live. You can't really see the show the way we're seeing it out, like we are looking at it over here with everybody. You can see both of the guests and contestants. If you want to find that look and be able to type, please go to our Facebook page over there on Facebook, and you'll be able to see that. If not, if you're cool with just listening to it, we're live right now for our Points of View segment. This is our new interactive talk segment, and we'll have special guests on, different guests every week, and we'll tackle some tough current events. It'll be sports, it'll be politics, it'll be everything, entertainment news. So moving right along.